My wife wanted to experience more, but assured me I'd always be her number one. I stayed silent. A week later, she came home to an empty house and a text that said, "You weren't mine. I wasn't yours. Now we're even." I'm a 52-year-old man from Spokane, Washington. My wife, Melissa, and I had been married for 26 years. We met in college, built a life together, and raised 2 kids who are now grown and out of the house. We had our ups and downs, like any couple, but I thought we were solid. A few weeks ago, Melissa sat me down after dinner. She looked nervous, fiddling with her wedding ring. Then she said, "I've been thinking a lot about life lately. I feel like I missed out on some experiences. I love you, and you'll always be my number one, but I want to explore a bit, just to see what else is out there." I was stunned. I asked her what she meant. She said she wanted to date other people, but still stay married. She assured me it was just about her personal growth, not about me lacking anything. I didn't know what to say. I felt like the ground had shifted beneath me. I told her I needed time to process this. Over the next few days, I thought a lot about our marriage. I remembered the times we laughed, the vacations we took, the challenges we overcame. I also thought about the times I felt lonely, even when she was right beside me. I realized that Melissa had already made up her mind. She wanted to explore, and nothing I said would change that. I felt betrayed, but also a strange sense of clarity. I decided to let her go. While Melissa was out one evening, I packed my things. I left a note on the kitchen table. "You weren't mine. I wasn't yours. Now we're even." I turned off my phone and drove to a cabin I owned in the mountains. I needed space to think, to heal. A week later, I turned my phone back on. There were dozens of messages from Melissa, asking where I was, if I was okay. I didn't respond. I filed for divorce. I changed my number. I started therapy. It's been a year now. I've started dating again, slowly. I've reconnected with old friends. I've found peace. Melissa reached out once, through a mutual friend. She said she regretted her decision, that she missed me. I wished her well, but I didn't look back. I didn't expect to ever see her again after I left, but 3 months after the divorce papers were filed, she showed up at my cabin. No warning. Just knocked on the door like it was still her place to be. I opened it, saw her standing there in a long coat. Face pale, makeup smudged. She looked tired, like she hadn't slept right in days. She said she just wanted to talk. I didn't say a word, just stood there blocking the door. She started crying, saying she'd made a huge mistake. That the man she explored with had dumped her after 2 weeks. That he wasn't serious, never was. That she thought what we had would always be there, waiting for her. Like I was a couch she could come back to after a walk in the rain. I didn't invite her in. Just let her talk from the porch. She said she wasn't asking for another chance, just wanted me to understand. That she thought experiencing more would make her realize how lucky she was. But instead, she just felt hollow. Used. That might have mattered a year ago. Hell, maybe even 6 months ago. But now? I'd already seen what life looked like without her chaos in it. And it was calmer, clearer. Still, what she said stayed with me longer than I care to admit. A few weeks later, I got a letter. Handwritten. From her. Inside was a photo. Her and a baby. I stared at it for a long time before reading what she wrote. "It's yours. I didn't know when I told you I wanted to explore. I swear I didn't. But I found out 2 months after you left. I didn't know what to do. I'm not asking for anything. Just thought you should know." I remember I sat down on the floor of the cabin and laughed. Not because it was funny, but because life really doesn't give you a break. Not even when you think the worst part is over. I didn't know what to believe. I hadn't even seen her in that way for nearly 2 months before the night she told me she wanted to explore. But I remembered clearly, there was one night, late, we were half arguing, half making up. And we didn't use protection. I thought it was one of those rare slips that wouldn't mean anything. Now, I was looking at a baby with a mouth shaped a lot like mine. I didn't respond right away. I needed to think. I needed a paternity test, but I also didn't know if I wanted to be involved at all. Was this just another twist in her mind games, or was it real? 2 days later, I got a call from my daughter, our oldest. She said her mom told her the same thing, that I had another child now. She didn't sound angry, just confused. Hurt. She asked if it was true. I didn't know what to tell her. I said, "I don't know yet. I need time." Then Melissa's new guy, the same one who left her, messaged me on Facebook. I hadn't even realized he knew my name. He said, "She told me the baby's mine. Just thought you should know." Attached was a photo of the same kid. So now there's 2 stories, 2 men, 1 baby, and no answers. I don't know what the hell to do next. A few days after the message from her ex, I finally agreed to a paternity test. Melissa sent a sample kit through her lawyer. I did mine, sent it back, then tried to forget about it for a while. I went fishing, I worked on fixing the porch, anything to keep my mind off that baby's face. The same mouth, the same stare. I couldn't shake it. 2 weeks later, the envelope came. No return address, just a thick manila packet with my name printed neatly. I opened it and read the results. 0% probability of paternity. I sat there for a long time, staring at that number. Not even a maybe. Not even close. I wasn't the father. I expected to feel relief. Freedom. Instead, I felt this weird emptiness I couldn't explain. Like someone had handed me a weight I'd been bracing for, and then yanked it away so fast it knocked the wind out of me. I thought that would be the end of it. But a week later, I got a phone call. From a blocked number. I usually don't answer those, but something made me press accept. Hey, it's Kara, the voice said. Kara, our old neighbor from back when Melissa and I lived on Crestview Lane. I hadn't heard from her in years. She said, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I think you need to know. Melissa lied about the baby. I didn't say anything. Just let her talk. She told everyone you were the dad. But the truth is, she was seeing someone way before she told you she wanted to explore. Like, 6 months before. Some guy she met at a work conference in Portland. I felt my hand clench the phone tighter. She was already seeing him when she told you about her little journey. I didn't want to get involved. But now she's dragging your name through all this mess. I figured you should know. I thanked Kara, then sat on my porch and tried to piece everything together. If what she said was true, then Melissa had been cheating way before that talk. That whole I want to experience more speech was just her trying to make herself feel better. Like she hadn't already made the decision behind my back. The next morning, I got another call. This time from a number I recognized, our youngest son, Ryan. He was visiting from Seattle and said he was in town and wanted to talk. When he came over, he looked uneasy. He didn't even sit down. Just stood by the porch railing and said, Dad, Mom's not doing well. She's drinking a lot. She lost her job. She says she made the worst mistake of her life. She's trying to find help. I stared at him. My own kid. Trying to do the right thing. Trying to patch together what his parents had broken. She said you've been cold. Like she never meant anything. Is that true? I didn't answer right away. I just looked at the trees in the distance. Then I said, she meant something. For a long time. But people like her, they set fire to everything and cry about the ashes. Ryan didn't say anything. He just nodded and walked off. That night, I couldn't sleep. My past kept knocking at the back of my mind like it had keys to the place. All those years. All the trust. The idea that none of it had been real. Then, out of nowhere, I got a text from an unknown number. You think you've got the whole story. You don't. No name. No explanation. I stared at that text for a long time. You think you've got the whole story. You don't. I replied, who is this? No answer. Just the little gray check mark and silence. For the next few days, I was on edge. I didn't know if it was a threat or someone messing with me. I called Kara again. She swore she didn't send it. Said she hadn't told anyone she talked to me. I believed her. Kara wasn't the type. Then, one night, I went into town for groceries. I was picking out tomatoes when I heard someone call my name. It was Dennis. Dennis was Melissa's old coworker. A guy I'd met a few times at company parties. Always polite. Nothing special. But now he looked different, shaky, pale, like he hadn't eaten well in weeks. I need to talk to you, he said, glancing around like he was being watched. We stepped outside. He lit a cigarette, hands trembling. She's been telling everyone you're the one who left her when she needed you most. That you bailed on your family. But that's not all. I said nothing. Just waited. She told people you used to cheat on her. That you had someone on the side for years. That's how she justified everything she did. That she was only reacting to what you'd already done. I blinked. I never cheated on her. Not once. I know. A few of us knew. She was spiraling. And she didn't want to be the villain. So she made you into one. She said she was pregnant with your baby. That you abandoned her. My jaw clenched. I felt something cold in my chest. Dennis looked at me and said, you didn't deserve that, man. I don't know if this helps, but I thought you should hear it. I nodded. I couldn't even thank him properly. I drove back to the cabin without touching the groceries. The next day, I called Melissa. Told her to meet me at a diner in town. She agreed. She came in wearing sunglasses, no makeup. Looked smaller somehow. When she sat down, I handed her the printed paternity test, and next to it, the screenshot of Dennis's message and the anonymous text. She didn't say anything at first. Then, very quietly, she said, you weren't supposed to find out all of that. My voice was low, but I did. She took off her glasses. Her eyes were red. I was scared. I ruined everything, and I couldn't admit it. So I twisted it. I just needed people to think I wasn't the only bad guy. You were, I said. She flinched. I didn't cheat. I didn't lie. I didn't walk away until you gave me a reason to. And even then, I left quietly. With dignity. But you, I know, she said. Her voice cracked. I know I destroyed it. I destroyed everything. People were starting to look over at us. The waitress came by, but I waved her off. Melissa didn't care. She was crying now, messy and loud. I wasn't happy, she said. I thought there was more out there. And then I found out how stupid I was. How fake it all was. And I wanted to blame someone. Anyone but me. The diner had gone silent. We were the show now. I told Ryan you were cold, she sobbed. I told him you didn't care anymore. I wanted him to hate you just a little. I needed someone to share my guilt. That hurt the most. That she used our kids to cover her shame. I got up. Dropped a 20 on the table. She grabbed my arm. Can we fix it? I looked down at her hand. Then at her face. No, I said. You didn't just break us. You buried us. And then you stood over the grave and told people I was the one who dug it. I walked out. After that day, Melissa tried to reach out a few more times. Emails, calls, even a letter. I didn't respond. Ryan eventually came to visit again. I told him everything. Showed him the paternity results, told him about Dennis and Kara. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, I'm sorry, Dad. It wasn't his fault. But hearing it still helped. Kara checked in on me now and then. Dennis even stopped by the cabin once to drop off a six-pack and say he was glad someone finally stood up to her. Turns out, she'd made enemies in more places than she realized. I'm not angry anymore. That surprised me. I thought I'd hold on to the rage. But now, all I feel is a strange peace. I live quieter now. I wake up, drink my coffee, chop wood, red. I don't think about what she's doing or where she is. I don't care. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's that trust is like glass. Once it shatters, you can glue it back together, but it's never the same. You'll always see the cracks. Melissa wanted more. She got more. And more took everything from her. As for me, I finally understand that peace isn't something someone else gives you. You build it. With your own two hands. I never went back. She never got me back. And somehow, I think that was the happiest ending I could have asked for.